Works. Dave Edge was the first public works foreman when I took office. All those folks have passed on. All those folks helped me get to where I am today. And I want to acknowledge all those folks plus all the other folks that have been hurt this past weekend. So I'm going to leave the pledge, and then after that, we'll have that moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag, states of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with freedom and justice for all. Very much, everyone. I got one. Announcements. Actually, we're going to do something a little different. The theme of the meeting tonight is remember and respect the past, live for the present, and plan for the future. And I have a video that goes back to 1992. And this video is the dedication of this building. And unfortunately, I had a laser that I was going to point out the folks that are in this video. But the video, it won't allow the laser to work. I mentioned Bill Rosenberry. This is Bill Rosenberry, to put a face to the name. And Bill was the supervisor, was the township manager at the time. This is the dedication of this building back in 1992. The young lady on the left seated in the brightly colored jersey is my grandmother. And she is 91 years old at this point. And we're going to run this. It's 4 minutes and 49 seconds, but it shows you a glimpse of the past and who the folks that shaped this township. So go ahead.
I would like to tell you a little story about Mrs. Fletcher. I first met Mrs. Fletcher, I believe, 10 years ago in the back parking lot. And I'm looking at this cane because I met that cane in the parking lot about 10 years ago. And what it was is Mrs. Fletcher came across the property and I was standing in the back, and I think Bud can attest to this because I think he's had this cane too. And Mrs. Fletcher come up and says, "Who are you?" And she kept poking me in the chest, you know. And I mentioned, I said, "Well, I'm the new kid on the block. I was a building inspector at the time." And she kept saying, "Well, I don't know you," and everything, you know. But we have sure loved Mrs. Fletcher at this time. And I believe that she has something that she would like to say. Is that right, Mrs. Fletcher? Did you want to say something here?
The gentleman on the left is this gentleman right here.
Hey. Oh my God.
You gotta love the shit.
Yes, my father would be mighty, mighty happy to be here and see all these people, lovely people. And most of them, I'm sure, are Willostown Township people. I want to thank the supervisors and everybody that was involved in this beautiful building for all they've done and in commemorating my father's memory. I thank you so much for coming tonight. And God bless you all.
Current Board of Supervisors, Don Mancini on the right, Frank Curley on the left, Jack Weber on the back right, Charlie Bennett, the police chief, behind, looking for some scissors. We had no scissors at that time in the township, but.
All looked at it, but one thing. Everybody has to spend day taking This another dignitary in the audience here tonight, and I didn't recognize him until he came in. He's standing next to Judge Shankin. Is just to be Chet Darlington. Good evening, Chet. This wraps up our festivities here. We really thank you for coming out.
Very nice. Okay, so announcements. The board met in executive session on December 2nd regarding legal matters. The township administration offices will be closed December 24th, 2025 and December 25th, 2025 in observance of Christmas, and also on January 1st, 2026 for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. The next item is honoring me.
I'll take that one. I would like to read this tribute to Bob. This evening marks Bob Lang's final public meeting as a supervisor of Willostown Township. For 27 years, Bob Lang, or Farmer Bob as he is commonly known, has served as a dedicated elected official, helping shape Willostown Township into the unique, verdant community it is today. In 1999, Bob spearheaded the township's open space referendum, a milestone initiative that laid the foundation for the long-term preservation of open space in Willostown. Because of his leadership and vision, more than 500 acres have been protected from development, ensuring Willostown's natural character will be enjoyed for generations. Bob is a fifth-generation farmer, and he works the land on his family's 230-acre farm, growing corn, tomatoes, pumpkins, sunflowers, and strawberries. His enduring dedication to Willostown's agrarian roots earned him the Agricultural Development Council's Distinguished Service to Agriculture Award in 1996, and the honor of being named Chester County Farmer of the Year in 2014. Bob is unafraid to roll up his sleeves, whether picking strawberries on his farm or picking up trash along Sugartown Road. His public service has also extended to other Willostown boards and commissions, including the Open Space Review Board and the Agricultural Security Area Advisory Committee. His creativity and authenticity have made him a memorable figure during election seasons. Few can forget the year voters were greeted by scarecrows outside polling locations, holding signs that read, "Pick your supervisor, vote for Farmer Bob." As Bob steps away from the board table, he leaves behind a community made better by his dedication, his vision, and his profound love of the township. His work has not only preserved acres of open space, but also the very spirit of Willostown. Bob, on behalf of the Willostown community, thank you. Thank you for your leadership, your humor, your hard work, and your heart. Your impact will be felt for generations, and Willostown will always carry a part of you in its parks and open spaces, and in the people lucky enough to have served alongside of you. Congratulations on your retirement from the board. You've earned it, and we are so grateful for the legacy you leave behind.
We have a few more things to say. I know. We're just getting started, I'm afraid. There's tissues here if you need them. I believe up next we have retired Pennsylvania Senator Andy Dinniman, who was going to say a few words.
Hey, well, Bob. Now that I'm in my 80s, I would come out for very few people, but I would always come out for Bob Lang. Because when we saw that video, there's a history to this county, isn't there? There's a tradition that goes back for agriculture, for respect for the land. Because it was the land that made Chester County special. This is a special place. And Bob understood this. And he knew that if we don't save the land, we'll become like every other county and every other suburb. And so I'm here tonight to thank Bob for his leadership. His leadership in terms of open space. When I was county commissioner in '92 is when we had started the landscapes program. And his leadership in terms of preserving the agricultural traditions of this county. You know, Bob, as I watched that video and understood the history of Willostown, the history of this county, I think now more than ever, with the changes that are taking place, with the massive development that's continuing to occur, with the divisiveness that we see in our society, we need leaders like Bob Lang, don't we? People who understand that the past is never past, that the past simply gives us the strength and the wisdom to confront the challenges of the present. And they are many, unfortunately. So, Bob, congratulations. I do remember coming to your farm, I think when they did the Century Farm.
Yep.
I remember your grandmother.
Yep.
And by the way, Bob is a competitor. No doubt about it. In fact, we were involved in a cow milking contest. And I don't think he's forgiven me because they assigned me to the other team, the East Goshen, and we won. It was really
It was great, but tell them your background. You grew up.
yeah. Well, see, I grew up on a dairy farm. but blame it on the Goshen Fair. But what I loved was this sense of competitiveness. You know, isn't that what we now need in society? To be competitive, but to be fair, to reach out to other people. So, Bob, your leadership will always stand as an example as we confront the issues of today. You brought people together. I have a little button for you. In fact, when I ended my term as commissioner, I established an endowment at Westchester University and raised a lot of funds to continue it. And it's called a Together Endowment. And it's to deal with the very divisiveness that we face. Is to bring people together now more than ever as we face the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, right? The Declaration of Independence said we're all equal. We all have rights. And we all, but these aspirational values take all of us to make them a reality, don't they? So, Bob, the button simply says together. And so it's my pleasure to present this to you, to thank you for your leadership.
Andy, thank you for coming out. I've been seeing you for a few years now.
Mm-hmm.
You need to stick around because at the end of the meeting, we're going to have some videos in which you are mentioned in it. So don't bug out early.
Well, unfortunately, I have to pick up my wife.
All right.
Who I fear more than the wife. And by the way, you're one of the best police departments in the county. When my wife was in the hospital and she was in severe illness and she recovered from it, it was in a coma. But when the Willostown cop stopped me from speeding and I told him what was going on, he then said to me, "Well, can I take you can I lead you to the hospital?" And that's the kind of police work that I greatly respect, and I thank you for that.
Okay.
When Governor Ridge came to the farm, that video is going to be playing. So I mentioned you specifically.
Oh, that's
so I just
great.
want you to know that before you leave.
Oh, well, I thank you.
I really appreciate you coming out.
Oh,
It means
no,
a lot.
it's
you go way back.
Yes, we do go way back, back to at least the nineties.
Yeah.
And when we used to run, by the way, I always supported Bob and he supported me, despite being a Democrat and Republican. Because open space and it was more important than what party you were in, wasn't it?
It was, and it is.
Thank you.
We're still not done, Bob. We have a few more things. I'm honored and pleased to get to present a few things from some folks who couldn't be here this evening, but wanted to send their regards. So I have here a certificate of achievement from PA State Representative Melissa Schusterman.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I also have a congratulatory document here from Pennsylvania Senator Carolyn Committa.
Nice.
And finally, a certificate of service from the Pennsylvania State Association of Township Supervisors.
It's a hotsy group.
And I'll also just extend, I know that a lot of us have already thanked you individually, but I'll extend the thanks of the township staff for all of your leadership over the past many years.
Thank you.
And I believe up next, I'm sorry, we're still not done. We have a brief statement from Mr. Ted Leisenring.
Shannon gave me 1 minute.
I know, I'm teasing him, it's
She's
brief.
tough.
I'm Ted Leisring, Willostown resident, and we've already had an introduction about Bob's legacy on open space, but I'd like to fill in a couple blanks there. So you saw who Bill Rosenberry is. Well, Bob was elected in 1997. In his first year with Bill Rosenberry, they went out to Downingtown. This is how the whole open space story started. We need to have the details on it. And they went to a township managers meeting out there. And at that meeting, was a presentation about what East Bradford was doing. Nod your head if I get it right. So they said, this is interesting. Out here, they're saving open space. Bob brought that back to Willostown Township. You can't do things in a vacuum. You can't just do it with government. You need organizations like the Willostown Conservation Trust. Bonnie Van Allen is here tonight. And also Mary Hunt was here. And Mary Hunt was working, you all know Mary. He was working with the trust at the time. They put together a program to initiate an open space. It takes marketing, selling it to the public. The referendum went on the ballot and it's passed by 82%.
Nothing passes by 82.
Nothing. Okay, nothing passed by 82%. And what does that mean? It means that 1/8 of 1% of our earned income tax was used to raise funds. And with that funds, that began the whole process. The first project was Okahog, and it was a big one. It was a big farm that was brought to the township. It was worked on as a public-private partnership, and it was the first project done. I believe it has 4 phases to it. The other projects, and I can't go through all of them, but I do have a list that I'm going to be giving you of all of the projects. Just maybe mention a couple. Okahog, in the center part of our township, we have the Serpentine Preserve. And that somebody came directly to Bob Lang and said, hey, Bob, I don't want to sell this to anybody else. I want to sell this to the township. Can you help me? And that was your friend Spinelli, right? Yeah. And we put that together. I believe it's about 22 acres. It's a beautiful property on Line Road. And then maybe the jewel of all of our open space is the tiniest, and that is Green Tree Park up in the northern part of the township. It gets, I think it's 7 acres. How big is it, Mary?
8.
8 acres. Mary knows. Mary worked hard on that. And not only is it very well utilized by all the families up there, but it has a jungle gym set. Our police force presents up there. We have town concerts. So it's just a great amenity in the north part of the township. So I'm going to sum this up, but I have to say one thing. In addition to doing a partnership with the Willostown Conservation Trust, there were a lot of grants that were written, and you have to match the money. I'm going to talk about the money. It was the acreage was 505 acres. The total appraised value of the land is $44 million. Of the open space funds, 13.5 were funds from all of us, all of the township residents, and then matching grants and gifts from others for the hard work that Mary did on all those grants. Thank you. So that's summing it up. And I have one of these for you, for Bob, and one of these for Mary. Thank you. I want to share one of my 30 seconds of my time with Bill Tickner.
If that's okay. This is everybody. Mr. Dinman left, so I guess I can get away with it. So my name is Bill Tickner, 16 Fairview Road, and I really just need 30 seconds. I rise as a township resident, but also a 30-year member of the Republican Committee of Chester County, locally known as Area 9. And our committee voted unanimously to honor Bob this evening. On behalf of our committee, our heartfelt thanks to you for all you've done for us for all these years as a supervisor. Wishing you a fond retirement. And as Molly mentioned, our favorite memories are certainly big John Deere tractors at each of our polling places with bales of hay that says you're a supervisor. Your dedication over the years is just as Ted highlighted, Mary as well. We share these same fond memories of you campaigning along with Bob in a nonpartisan, bipartisan way. And I think we can all learn from it. On the personal side, I have a wife and 2 daughters. We've had our birthday parties at the farm. We've bought asparagus and corn and strawberries and sunflowers. Enjoyed the Halloween fun that he provides. And I can't thank you enough for all that you've done for us. So in closing, I don't know if I can get through, but the Republican Committee of Area 9 wanted to present you with some flowers. And Bob, thank you.
Janet, we have one more here. Oh, Mary.
20 seconds.
Come on, Mary's up.
I got more than 20. Yeah.
And I will say too, I know if everybody wants to say something, there will be also more time at the end. This is not anybody's last chance, but
Okay,
Mary,
awesome.
you have the floor.
Okay, awesome. So, yeah, I think I have maybe 4.5 minutes. But yeah, I'm Mary Hunt, and I've had the pleasure of growing up here and working with many faces here and many in the videos. But why I'm here is I want to say to Bob, I don't think my story is unique to me when it comes to you, Bob. I think you've had positive influence on many Willostowners. You've been a player in my life. Starting with my mom schlepping me to the farm to trade her garden goods for your corn.
Yep.
Fast forward a decade and I show up for bugs for an entomology class I'm in. And of course, your game. I was hired as the first full-time employee of the Willostown Conservation Trust, and Bonnie's here. And I became involved with the EAC at that point, the Willostown Township EAC. And fast forward 3 years, and in 2000, you asked me to run for supervisor. So I ran it by my mother. And if any of you all knew Sheila, she had an opinion. And she said, oh, you have plenty of time for that. And so I politely declined. And then I realized in hindsight, she may have had some kind of ulterior motive, like grandchildren and don't go to meetings, do something else at night. But anyway, so a year later, she had passed away unexpectedly. And a year later, I did run. And that was with the support of you and many residents and the Conservation Trust for the landscape ethic and sense of place that is so much a part of Willostown. So I, somewhere in the middle of all that, I was hired for by Willostown Conservation Trust, and you approached the trust to say, let's run an open space referendum. You started it. I feel like you started it. And the mission was to protect open space for recreation and for quality of life for all of our residents. And you set the tone, you asked the team, you knew the movers and shakers, and they got it done. That's why there was 82% of the vote, because of all of the collaboration and communication that Willostown Conservation Trust, Bonnie and Alice and their board had done with the community. So it's really an ethic here. And you've been a major contributor to the beauty and the character of Willostown. And of course, you're one of the favorite characters here too, which is just fantastic. Your farming, your commitment to open space and recreation, your dedication to this township's governance and to serving this town and its people have inspired many, including me. Your love of this landscape and appreciation for its people leave a radiant legacy, and you're not done yet. So to commemorate your way of being and to honor your enthusiasm, persistence, and love of Willostown, I want to give you this map from my Willostown Township map collection. And I had John Nagy, the senior, coming after me for some of my maps. So it's a real collection.
It's a real deal.
It's a real deal. And so for you to commemorate this and all your effort and all the inspiration you've shared and the diligence and the persistence and frankly, the patience, I want to give you this Brio map. It's an original Brio map from my collection, and maybe we'll see it sometime, in the market or something like that. But
For sure, down the store.
in your store, yeah. But this is an original Brio map. It's got a couple of stains to show for it, and the date is, what's the date? Someone knows offhand. 1876.
I think it's 1887.
Thank you. Thank you. There's our story.
Set it by the side
Yep,
of the
put it right there.
side of relief.
I believe, nope, still not. Steve Pine has a couple of words.
Thank you. Shut up. Thanks everyone for coming tonight. It's such a special event for Bob and his last meeting. Bob and I go way back ever since I started here. He swore me in, as you can see in the videos, I guess. I was a young child there and, and then he swore me in as chief. So it's very special to me to be able to work these past 27 years with Bob. So thank you. We do want to give you a plaque from the police department. So I'm just going to read you a little bit what the plaque says. On behalf of the officers and staff of the Willostown Township Police Department, it's an honor to recognize Bob Lang for his 27 years of dedicated service to our community. Throughout his time as a township supervisor, Bob has been a steady and unwavering supporter of this police department. His leadership, trust, and belief in our mission has helped ensure that our officers could serve the residents of Willostown Township with professionalism and pride. Much of that support happened behind the scenes often, but its impact has been felt every day by the men and women who wear this badge. This plaque represents our sincere gratitude for your service, partnership, and commitment to public safety, Bob. So we thank you, everything you've done to our police department. And Bob and I go way back. We played softball together when I got hired here. We played paintball together, and I even was involved when he was tasered. So that was fun too.
We'll see that later on.
But even on a professional relationship, you are a friend, so we thank you, and you are always welcome to the police department for a cup of coffee anytime. Thank you. So. Thank you.
Bill's gonna close us out here. And like I said, there will be more time at the end for recollections with Bob.
I've sat here next to Bob since 2004. What Mary didn't point out is that she was elected to the Board of Supervisors and stepped off to pursue other careers, and I was appointed to replace her on the board. I was appointed largely through Bob's championing my candidacy, not because I was his brother-in-law, because that really didn't work. People say, aren't you going to miss Bob? I'm like, I'm not going to miss Bob because he's not going away. But it's been an honor to sit here next to Bob, to work with Bob. Bob has been a man of incredible integrity and focus. You heard him talk about, and everybody talked about, open space and his commitment to open space. And anybody who knows Bob knows that that is really the essence of his being, of his involvement in public service. But he has also been an unwavering champion of the police department, of public works, of all the people who go out there every day and do work for the township and don't get as much notice and recognition because they're in a green truck shoveling out a drain or down hip deep in a sewer tank or whatever. But he has always been there for those people. We're making sure that they're recognized and compensated and taken care of. And that's what this job is all about. And Bob has been the model for all of us as to how to sit here and be a supervisor, to do the right thing. It's not about party politics. There are no R&D issues at this level, but it's all about what's right for the people of Willostown. And Bob has always, always, always championed the people of Willostown first. So as a little thank you from the Board of Supervisors, we're gonna give him the old gavel and take, oh, no. He's worn that one out, but on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, you got a little plaque to go with. That's why I can't keep it.
I could be down at my store and just like, all right, enough of this.
Exactly, precisely.
Thanks.
But Bob, it's been great. Thank you very much.
All right, so first of all, there's a lot of people here I never expected to see. Dave Berman, where are you, Dave? Right there. I mean, Dave was our township manager, great manager, moved on to bigger townships. Bill Tickner, Mary coming from Lancaster. Yeah, I mean, Bonnie Van Allen coming. I mean, come on, guys, you really, I mean, it's really emotional for me. And
we're giving them all a check.
At the end of this meeting, we're going to have some videos, and I hope you stick around for them because they're much in line with the first video I showed of my grandmother. It's when Governor Ridge came to our farm. He gave a speech. I was able to follow him with the speech, and it really was one of the most memorable times of my life, and it set the stage because this is 1996, and Matt McCary, you're going to love the end of that video when you see it. But just put some perspective in. When I started, Bill Clinton was the president. Okay, so I'm old, and I started. I was 70 now, and I was 28. I was 42 years old. I was the young guy at 42 years old, and now I'm 70. And where did the time go? I've been with a ton of different people that have moved on, 6 different police chiefs, 4 or 5 township managers. Oh, the Public Works, I gotta say Public Works. So Dave Edge was the first one, then Bill Hagan, then George Martinick, then Bill Hagan again, second term, and then Bill Hagan Jr. came on. And do you see a correlation between the Hagans? I mean, best hires we've ever done, Bill, Molly, getting this young man right here. He has taken so much of the burden off of us when he comes to the meetings and gives his reports. It's unbelievable. So just some more gee whiz facts, 26 years. It's over 500 meetings here as a township supervisor. And that doesn't include the extra ones that we would have to have from time to time, so 500 meetings. Roughly 30,000 signatures, although Bill was doing it tonight, thank you. I would do the signatures, like 30,000 signatures in 26 years. It's bittersweet for me because the goodness, and Andy touched upon it, when you do something good, it's a great feeling, you get something accomplished. And that's what we were doing here in Willostown. And I gotta tell you, the boards that I've worked with have been great. This board has been spectacular. And the reason is we all get along. And we have a Democrat right here, we have a Republican here and here, and yet we get along and we got things done. And we may have differences. And Bill and I never agreed on a lot of things. Don't get me wrong.
He's my proposal.
Bill would like, oh, we can't do that, we'll get sued. I'm like, no, let's get sued. No. Bill, I was gonna say, I think I'm gonna save it to the end because I want to talk about every one of you guys, but at the end of the meeting, because I know we're dragging this on and I know a lot of folks have other issues on the agenda tonight. I know you want to get moving. But suffice it to say, it's bittersweet for me. I've enjoyed it immensely. I haven't enjoyed the negativity, and again, Andy touched upon that, the divisiveness that we see throughout the country. I can't stand it. I'm embarrassed about it, and I want to try to change it and get things back the way they were. And I am so thrilled with the outcome of the election because Matt McCary and these two people right here are going to be a fantastic board. I leave knowing that this board that's coming on is going to do better than our board now because this guy over here, he's the deal. He's the real deal. And I am so proud of him and the way he conducted himself. And I think that's all I'm going to say until the end. So thank you, everybody. Now we'll get going with the regular. Now back to a regular meeting.
Back to the regularly scheduled.
No, I'm sorry. Come on.
All right, we're out of here. Okay. Now we got to get serious. The regular business items, 2025